Journalist warns about ex-intelligence officials in media. Yeah, no shit. Former intelligence officers are joining mainstream news network as analysts with increasing frequency, a pattern that threatens the independence of the American press. Correction, there is no freaking independence of the American press. That is not a thing. There are independent outlets that are considered part of the American press, but the American press as a whole, the true power structure, is anything but independent. So this is a quote from Caitlin Johnstone. More and more of the outlets from which Americans get their information are being filled not just with garden variety establishment loyalists, but with longstanding members of the U.S. intelligence community. These men got to their positions of power within these deeply sociopathic institutions based on their willingness to facilitate and depravity in order to advance the secret agenda of the U.S. power establishment, and now they're being paraded in front of mainstream Americans on cable news on a daily basis. The words of these quote-unquote experts are consistently taken and reported on by smaller news outlets in print and online media in a way that sends their authoritative assertions throughout the public consciousness. A recent example is John Brennan. We did a video about that on the Jimmy Dore Show. This guy was the CIA director from 2013 to 2017. He's joined NBC News and MSNBC this month as a senior national security and intelligence analyst. So instead of having journalists committed to this line of work that try to hold these people like this guy accountable, people like John Brennan accountable, they just hire John Brennan. They're like, we just print whatever the establishment wants us to print anyway. So why not skip out the middleman? It used to be FBI sends us a press release, we copy, we paste, we print, we go home. Now we have the FBI guy, or excuse me, CIA guy. Misspeak there, correction, CIA guy. It used to be the CIA sends a press release, CIA, FBI, either one, okay? But in this case, CIA. We used to have a CIA guy who would just send us the press release, we'd copy, we'd paste, we'd go home. Now let's just hire that dude. Why not hire the dude to write it himself? This is, yeah. Kate asks, Verret died. Where do we get verified news now? By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but on the Verret Twitter handle, they used to say news for the 65 million, which was pretentious and arrogant beyond comprehension to begin with. But they finally took that out. Even they had a moment of humility and realized what a bogus assertion that was. That their media for 65 million people. As if everybody that voted for Hillary wants to hear their establishment centrist propaganda. As if there weren't tons of people that were not voting for anything. They were just voting against Donald Trump. As if that's not the majority of people that voted for Hillary. Do you know anyone in the primary that honestly said Hillary was a better candidate than Bernie? I don't. I cannot think of one person. And I'm thinking colleagues, I'm thinking family, I'm thinking friends that voted for Hillary. They didn't do so because they thought she was a better candidate than Bernie. They did so because they thought Bernie couldn't beat Trump. And then they voted for her again because her opponent was Donald Trump. So, I mean, how arrogant that you think all 65 million people that voted against Donald Trump were actually excited about Hillary. I would argue most of them weren't. So anyway, my reason Verret actually took that off of their Twitter. They're no longer, and they're dying. Apparently they're no longer around. So yeah, this is NBC and MSNBC, your quote unquote progressive outlet. They hire literal intelligence officials to just cut out the middleman. You're just hearing what the establishment wants you to hear anyway. Now there's no middleman. Just go straight to the source. And I'm sure that if Verret was still around, John Brennan would have no problem being Verret certified. Because they love the intelligence agencies now, right? Why? Because the intelligence agencies don't like Trump. It doesn't matter that they don't like Trump for all the wrong reasons, but they don't like Trump, and that's enough for your Mick resistance. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.